Good morning from Ust-Kamenogorsk, or in Kazakh, Öskemen. This is the capital of East Kazakhstan. Yesterday I had a bit of a crazy travel day where I came all the way from China over an undocumented border essentially. After crossing that border, which the border guards were extremely surprised, I actually delayed the whole bus because they didn't know what to do with someone who was not Kazakh or Chinese. They didn't even know if I had visa-free access or not. They had to check everything. After that, I took a shared taxi for like 9 hours to Öskemen here. And then you realize how big just this province is. You just have the same landscape for hours and hours with nothing around. Anyways, I'm here now. I don't have time to explore the nature more around here, which is actually very beautiful. So I'll just see the city. The city gives me real Soviet Union vibes. The buses and the trams look very old. The buildings look old. I think the plan today is to just explore this city a bit and see if we can find something real reminiscent of the Soviet Union times. Because I think we'll find it here. And that excites me. It's a bit tough that I started this trip all in the south of Kazakhstan, in Turkestan and Shymkent, where it was like 25 degrees. Went to northwestern China. It got quite cold and now it's like freezing. I read that 10% or 11% of the titanium production worldwide comes from this region. Also lots of other like radioactive material like uranium, beryllium. Also a lot of production right here. Air quality here is not good. Throughout my whole trip now in Kazakhstan, this place definitely gives me the most Soviet vibes. Look at that tram in the background. Everyone is staring at me, but I'm used to that at this point. I actually didn't expect to arrive here yesterday because I thought I couldn't make it to here in one day from China. But I did. I last minute booked a hostel for last night, which by the way didn't have any people. Well, there was like one Kazakh guy who seemed to be working from the hostel somewhere. For today, I'm going to a hotel which, based on the pictures, I also think is the most Soviet hotel I've probably ever slept in. Even though I've been to Russia, I've never been to a hotel that looks, at least on the photos, that Soviet. So I'm going to go there now and let's check it out. So I'm walking here in this random park and behind there I can see some kind of what maybe used to be a factory or maybe still is. Everything is Soviet here. I love this. This is really my thing, and this is why I love to go to countries that were once in the Soviet Union. Oh my god. That's... no, it can't be. Is that Lenin? No, it's not Lenin. That would be the cherry on top if we had Lenin here. But no, it's not Lenin. Who is this though? This is Protozanov Alexander Konstantinovich. Let me just look up who this is. I really hope it's some Soviet hero. That would be the cherry on top. Oh my god, you may have never seen me so happy on this channel. This Mr. Protozanov Alexander Konstantinovich, which by the way only has a Wikipedia page in Russian, Ukrainian and Polish, and not in English, was the first secretary of the Communist Party of East Kazakhstan province during the Soviet Union. Before that, he was the first secretary of the Tyumen Industrial Regional Committee. Tyumen is in what is now Russia, but anyways, back then it was also Soviet Union, of course. So this person that is still has a major place in this city. When you look online, everyone says there's nothing to do in Öskemen. You should just go out here and go to see the nature. Which you probably also should, but for someone like me who's actually into this, it is actually very exciting. I love this. I've been to Russia, I've been to Siberia even. I've never really been in a place that felt like this. So now my next goal is to find the Lenin statue. If they still kept this guy up in the park and so nicely clean, surely there must be a Lenin somewhere. So let's find it. No, but let's first actually go to my Soviet hotel. I'm so excited. And it's actually even better that it's cold and freezing. It feels like I'm in Soviet Siberia now. My hotel looks extremely Soviet from the outside already. This whole thing is the hotel. It really looks like no one has used it for the last 40 years. Let's check it out. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like being transported to the 80s. Look at this TV. Like, how old is that TV? So let's see, what's the view like here? Nice Soviet view as well. Now, first of all, The question is, does this TV even work? And it hasn't been used for a while because it's not plugged in, so let's do that first. This TV still works. I mean, it's not the best quality, but it does fit the Soviet vibe. I'm going towards this huge park, and according to the map app, there should be a Lenin statue there. So let's check out if that's still the case or if it's not. So we'll see. I see another big statue. Will it be another communist leader? Let's check it out. Abay Kunanbayev, which is also known as just Abay, is actually from the pre-Soviet times. He seems to be like a Kazakh hero. He was a poet. He died in 1906, so he has nothing to do with the Soviet time. Let's continue to find some communist relics, because that's my mission for today. I've already had a couple of times where especially young girls here are very intrigued by my camera. I usually don't get it on camera, but this time I was on time. So you can see they're intrigued. Happened a couple of times, especially here. I think someone with a camera is just an interesting view. Now this abandoned square behind me also really goes with the Soviet vibe here. The letters of Kazakhstan are engraved into the mountain there with a flag. This mosque is truly beautiful. It's not only very beautiful, but it's also huge. Absolutely huge. And I'm also completely alone here. Maybe the people are inside. It's quite cold outside, so I can imagine they are inside. Let's see if I can enter this mosque, which is called Halifa Altai Meshiti. Well, Meshit is mosque, I understand that. Altai is probably referring to the Altai mountains, which are near here. Let's check it out. From the inside, and there were actually about maybe 10-20 people inside praying, so it's actually being used. Unexpected find here in Öskemen. Such a huge mosque. It doesn't have that many people living here. I believe 300 or 400,000 people. Yes, look at this beauty of a USSR helicopter. Then next to the helicopter we have an Air Kazakhstan airplane. As far as I know, Air Kazakhstan is not in business anymore. It used to be the national airline of Kazakhstan, which is now Air Astana. I guess they were like, we don't know what to do with this old plane, so let's just put it in the park in Öskemen. Very nice. The last of the three beauties here. What a beauty as well. Now, please let me find the Lenin statue here. So I was about to say it's very cold, and then I was about to say there are no people in this park. But no one in their right mind would actually go for a stroll in the park with this weather. So fair enough. I imagine if it's warm, it's summer, people will be out here. Anyways, a new chance to find Lenin, because I see several statues. And let's see if oh my god, I think it is him, and not just him. He's the most prominent out of all of these. Actually, I see several of Lenins. Do I see several Lenins? I don't know why there are so many. They really are going for their Soviet image here in Öskemen, I guess. But here we have him, Lenin, a small version. And it seems like they will gradually get bigger. So here, our smallest version of Lenin. Very nice to see you here in Öskemen. I've missed you throughout Kazakhstan. Now, it's kind of weird that we have a Lenin there, and then this guy is another Öskemen guy. It's called Jerzniskidi, I think he's called, it says. I don't know why he's in between there, because you have a Lenin there and then this Jerzniskidi, and then we have a lot of Lenins here. So it would have made more sense to add one more here. If you're going for the park full of Lenins, you might as well go all out. I mean, I feel this is already pretty all out. So we had a Lenin small size there. We'll have a Lenin bigger size here. Then if you don't have enough of Lenin, you can always go to the really big size, or my personal favorite, the gigantic Lenin. Maybe they just put all the Lenins in the country that they removed and they put them in Öskemen. That's my working theory right now. I think Lenin will be happy that his statues are still around here in Öskemen. But I don't know. Really? Next to one of the biggest mosques in Kazakhstan? I don't know if Lenin would be very happy with that. Anyways, here we have some more Soviet relics. I don't think anyone can say that Öskemen does not celebrate its Soviet past. Alternatively, Öskemen is just trolling everyone, including Lenin in his grave, and by putting him next to one of the biggest mosques in Kazakhstan. I thought I'd seen the biggest Lenin statue, but there is one that's even bigger. This is the truly gigantic one. Next to, who's this? Unfortunately, I do not know who this guy is. It doesn't have a sign. But I do know that this is Lenin. So a lot of tanks, a lot of Lenin statues. This is properly insane. Very unexpected in this random city. They're like, what's more random? We need something more random than all this. We need a Japanese garden? Really? Is that what we need? In Öskemen, in the park full of Soviet relics? I'm truly baffled by this. It looks very nice, but it's confusing. Why is there a Japanese garden here? Why are all the Lenin statues in Kazakhstan here? Why next to this huge mosque? As you can see, there's only one path to go through this Japanese garden. It has this like nice gate. And you go up the path here. And you think, oh, it must go somewhere, or maybe there's a nice view. So you go up, and the path stops here. So you think, maybe now I have an amazing view of this Japanese park. I'm looking at someone's back garden and some trees. What is this place? This is officially the most random and weird park I've ever been to. Öskemen is now officially my favorite city in Kazakhstan. Öskemen did deliver on the Lenin statues. Actually, I only needed one. This is weird. I'm at the point where I feel like I'm hallucinating, that this is a dream. I think I'm seeing a piano. Does someone just have a budget and decided to just randomly assign it to random stuff, completely random stuff? Like it's a piano. It's actually a piano. I'm not even gonna comment anymore. I'm just gonna show you the bizarre stuff here. Are you also confused as to why you're here? Yes? Me too. It seems like the piano is actually locked. It's not even locked. There are like screws, so you can't even open it in general. So it's even more random. It's not even a piano to play on, but just a piano for aesthetic purposes. Alright, so that was Öskemen. Tomorrow I'm flying to the capital of Kazakhstan, so in the next video you will see Astana. Whatever the case, Öskemen has to be my favorite city because it's like a time machine. It's so Soviet. I really liked it, and I'm gonna just have dinner, chill, so I'm ready tomorrow to go to Astana. Thanks for watching.